Fine, we all have now on online mode. So let me proceed the today's webinar procedure. Fine. Good afternoon, one and all. Honeymoon greetings to all. This is Dr. Purav Desai, Dean, Faculty of Homeopathy, Parul University, and Principal of Jawaharlal Nehru Homeopathic Medical College. Dear all, the previous situation of COVID-19, we have adopted the digitalization at all levels. Probably our university is the first who adopted this. We have even conducted the university exam on digital mode. That too, with such measures which can restrict the unfair means, we have conducted it on the reputed platform that is World Assessment Council. This is all because of the able leadership of our beloved President Dr. Devanshu Patel and the various notable officials of Parul University. Different position in the university groups, and I'm glad to share you that ARIAA, that is Utter Ranking of Institutions of Innovation Achievements, Parul University stood in 25th to 50th rank, though we are the youngest university among all. Environment always motivates us to move ahead, and the spirit of moving forward is also contributed by Dr. Komal Patel, the director of environmental branches of Parul University. We do not want to constrain ourselves in this great voyage, and we wish that the entire fraternity of homeopathy shall join with us. At Parul University, there are more than 16 faculties, and all are regularly arranging the webinars by the distinguished personality of their respective fields. The Faculty of Homeopathy is equally active in this drive. I'm glad to share with you that today we could organize 6 successful webinars, and now coming to you, the 7th one. There are 4 constituent colleges of Parul University: CNHMC, PIHS, these are at Vadodara, AHMC at Ahmedabad, and RHMC at Rajkot. All the institute heads, we all are tuned in such a way that we do all the things very meticulously, and we prove this quote: coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is success. The story of Faculty of Homeopathy is too long to describe. So, without wasting time, let me introduce you the one of the team member of our unit, Dr. Hina Rawal Madam, to do the welcome address of today's webinar. She is a principal of Ahmedabad Homeopathic Medical College, professor in Department of Organon of Medicine, chairperson of BOS at Parul University, former member of Central Council of Homeopathy, and empanel assessor of NABH and NAC. So let me over to Dr. Hina Madam.
Thank you very much.
Madam, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Purav sir. A very warm welcome and a very good afternoon to all the viewers. I warmly welcome all the viewers to the series of webinar by Parul University, an initiative to connect the brilliant presenters of homeopathy to the young budding homeopaths across the nation. It's my privilege to introduce today's presenter, Dr. Brushali Saraswat. She is an international speaker, teacher, and promoter in the field of homeopathy. She is founder of Happiness Homeopathic Clinic, which encourages homeopathic treatment, counseling, and training. Her particular interest lies in mental health as it relates to physical and social well-being. Thus, she is running programs like Rational Parenting, Soul Spa, Happiness Tools for Daily Life. Dr. Saraswat did her bachelor's from Pune University and has done fellowship course in advanced homeopathy at the Other Song International Academy under the Maharashtra University of Health Sciences. She has published several papers in national and international journals and seminars. She is a homeopathic consultant since 2001 and is on board of editors of National Journal of Homeopathy. She is awarded by NJH for consistent author and by Rotary Club as COVID warrior for distributing immunity boosters to 4 lakh people in June 2020. It's our privilege and pleasure to welcome Dr. Saraswat. Please, Dr. Saraswat. Over to Dr. Saraswat. Please welcome ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a warm welcome. And I really feel, I was just talking to Dr. Pura also, that I really feel this is a great opportunity that, every problem brings in amazing opportunities. So for,
That is true, ma'am.
yes, for homeopathic world, I think there have been so many good opportunities. So I have a habit of looking at what is best from every problem. And I think we are able to connect. We are able to reach out to so many students. We are able to bring hope to students. That itself is a big opportunity. So taking this opportunity forward, I'm going to share whatever I have learned in 20 years of my practice. I've always been a clinician, but I am a teacher's daughter, which brings me closer to you guys. And I'm going to attempt sharing whatever I have learned so far. Okay. Interestingly, we are not able to be interacting with the students today. However, I would want them to think, because the topic which I'm going to share today is spider remedies. So I'm going to I want students who are watching to think about what did Spider-Man teach us? Yeah, the amazing movie Spider-Man, which is, right from my childhood, I remember the tune. Even the moment you say Spider-Man, that tune goes in our mind. So what did exactly Spider-Man teach us? So Spider-Man taught us so many things, right? The moment I Google Spider-Man features, it brings forward genius intellect. It brings proficient scientist and inventor. It also says strength, speed, durability, agility, stamina, reflexes, reactions, coordination, balance, and endurance. So when you look at Spider-Man in this manner, these are the aspects, these are exactly the aspects which we have to look for spider as a remedy. Maybe not everything, not all of it put together, but these are the factors, these are the essence of spiders which we have to look into our remedies. I will start with a case of mine. This is a 3-year-old child who was a very precious baby, because the child was born after 5 failed IVFs. The mother was eagerly waiting to have a baby, and after having so many disappointments, finally the baby was born. The 6th IVF succeeded and the child was born. Unfortunately, the father was least bothered. Okay? Father had nothing to do with the child. He would completely stay by himself. There is some noise in the background. Is it from my end or?
Panda sir, I feel that you need to mute your mic.
Okay.
Panda sir.
मैं कर रहा हूँ.
Yes sir.
Okay. So
माइक म्यूट करना कहाँ से आएगा?
Panda sir, you need to mute your mic, please.
Okay. This 3-year-old child was not able to speak. Yeah. And he was treated by his father like a furniture. Like he would come home, look at the child, and that's about it. There was no interaction. Mother was the sole caregiver. She was the only one looking after him. Mother was working full time. and the family was going through a lot of financial crunch at that point of time. So mother could not quit the job. It's a nuclear family, only father, mother, and the child in the house. And even the parents did not share a very warm relationship. So this child was completely left alone all the time. The child was in daycare since he was 3 month old. Now the child is 3 month old, but he 3 year old, but he cannot speak. There was a zero interaction, zero social interaction. He would not speak. He would just scream and shout. He was extremely hyperactive. He would just go on jumping from this place to that place. He would, maybe he would remove food grains from the boxes. He would put it back. He would soil everything. He would just go around. One day he had even taken the TV down. So he's that hyperactive. He doesn't know he doesn't know how to sit in one place. He would not make eye contact. So he came to me for 3-4 months. In those 3-4 months, he had never made a single eye contact with me. Mother was utterly disappointed. She said, I'm waiting for a baby and now I get a baby which is like this. She is frustrated. She is angry. And the same anger, same frustration is seen in the child as well. The school teachers are clueless because when he goes to the school, he's never sitting in his class. All the time he's roaming around. So the teacher, half of the time, teacher's energy goes in holding this child and getting him back. What he does is he doesn't speak, but he knows how to tease the other students. So he will, खोड़े निकालने का काम, like मस्ती करके कुछ भी anything, he would bother other children and he'll just run away. Okay, so continuously he's moving around, he's doing some or the other mischief, and if anybody is touching him, he would get excessively angry. Another thing is when he's angry, when he's throwing things, when he is hyper, that time no one can touch him. The moment mother would also want to cuddle him, he would just shout. He'll simply shout and he'll push her away. He would bite. So when I had put all these rubrics into repertorization, there was only one remedy which was running through and through. You see how beautifully the rubrics which I've taken are mind abrupt, because that is what he would do. Suddenly he would get up, suddenly he would start doing something, suddenly he would shout. So that suddenness, abruptness was there. He would pick up one thing, never finish that and go to the another one. So changeability, abruptness. He was absent-minded. You would never make out whatever the mother is trying to talk to him. She would at times feel whether he's understanding, whether he's actually listening to me. Was hyperactive, and most important rubric in this case was he was hyperactive without a purpose. There was no reason why he's doing it. Like he's not inquisitive. When he is breaking a remote, he's not inquisitive about it. He just wants to fidget, just want to do some or the other thing. Only single remedy rubric this is: hyperactive without purpose, without any reason. And when he would be asked, like, it has never happened that I've not been able to engage children in conversation. But this child, I could not. In initial days, I just could not talk to him. He would refuse to answer. His mother would call out his name so many times, but he would refuse to answer. And if he is given too much anger, he would bite. He would come and bite. He did not like company. Even then, he wanted somebody around. So he would want mother to be around, but he would not want her to play with him. He would not want her. She would take him and make him sit in one place. She would read out stories, but he had no business, nothing. So it's an autistic child. Mother was superlatively frustrated. When we repertorized and we found out this is through and through, all the rubrics are covered by tarantula. There is no other remedy which is covering all the rubrics. All the 10 rubrics were covered by Tarantula. So we gave him Tarantula hispania. Now this prescription was easy because it came through repertorization. But then what if repertory is not covering all the rubrics? How are we going to approach it? So the easy way is by understanding what are spiders. Once we understand spider as a subfamily or a subclass, then it will be easy for us not to miss these remedies. These are, so you see, there are 38,000 species of spiders which are existing on the earth. And they have existed since millions of years. They are spiders, that means they are, they're not insects and they're definitely not scorpions. They're different than that because scorpions have 3 parts. The body is divided into 3 parts. Whereas for a spider, the body is divided only in 2 parts, the chest and the abdomen. The abdomen is free. Abdomen does not have limbs. So the limbs, which actually we call, commonly call it as 8-legged animal, but these are not legs actually, these are the arms, because they are attached to the chest, and whatever comes from the upper girdle, we call it as arms, right? So spiders typically have 8 arms. There is an exoskeleton and the anatomy is not so important. However, what is important is the extra sense which these spiders have. Because they do not have, their eyesight is very bad. It's very poor. Therefore, they have developed extra sensory organs. Like, these are hairy animals. They can feel, they can sense the outside changes. Every small change in the temperature, change in the wind, change in the surrounding, everything, a little movement, they can sense it. So from there comes the sense of Spider-Man, the 6th sense. Yeah. Now, which are the remedies which are there in homeopathy? So you see, there are 4 different classes, which are wolf spiders, black widows, cross spiders, and bird spiders. So the commonly known remedy as far as spiders are concerned is Tarantula hispania, isn't it? So which is a wolf spider. Whereas many times what, while studying, we get confused that Tarantula hispania and Tarantula cubens, these are closer remedies, but no, these are completely different types of spiders. So wolf spiders is Tarantula hispania, and a bird spider, which is a larger spider, that is Tarantula cubens. Tarantula cubens is a remedy which has been created, which was made long time ago. However, while it was being transferred from America to London, the bottle got opened and, the dilution was actually spoiled. When it reached London, it was spoiled. And the same spoiled dilution was used for proving. So Tarantula cubens, we never know whether it was exclusively Tarantula cubens proving, or it is some added element to it. Okay. So another section of spiders is black widows, which is Latrodectus mactans, Latrodectus hasselti, Latrodectus cativo, and Theridion. Theridion is an old remedy, so I will not be talking about Theridion. However, Latrodectus mactans, that is a remedy wherein it's a neurotoxin. It's a poisonous spider. And black widows per se, it's a very powerful remedy. Okay. So these are the spiders wherein the female spider eats up. It is cannibalism, right? The spiders do not have qualms about eating their own species. So that is what is called as cannibalism. So typically, a male spider is always worried. always worried because the female spider is going to eat him up after mating. So the male spider does not have a big role in the hierarchy. It just survives for reproduction. Once reproduction is done, he is eaten up. So from there comes the anxiety. The spiders always have this anxiety of survival. So black widows, Lactorectus mactans, it's a huge spider. It is a neurotoxin, and there are lot of fears, lot of hallucinations. There are hallucinations like, the person is seeing some lady, a ghost like old lady is following, chasing. These are the kind of delusions which you will find in Laterorectus mactans, and it comes from the male's fear or from the female, because it wants to mate, but once mating is done, it is going to be eaten up. Then there are the cross spiders or the garden spiders. Okay, these are Arenia exobola, Arenia diadema, and Arenia senecia. So Arenia exobola is the commonest spider which we find. Okay, Arenia diadema is a little rare one. It is found majorly in America, but exobola is the commonest spider. So you have to understand that when we think of spider as a remedy, that is the time we should be able to find out more of Arenia exobola. Okay. Then comes the bird spiders, the even bigger ones, Mygale atrax and Tarantula cubans. Going to the next case, this is one of my favorite cases which opened, spiders as a subclass for me. This particular child, he had presented, he is a 3-year-old child, 3.5-year-old child, presented with a subacute appendicitis. So for initially, from his birth, this child had a lot of illnesses, like cold and cough. He used to be hospitalized, nebulized. He was put in a daycare. For one day, he was hospitalized, like that, multiple hospitalization. He had to take so many antibiotics. He had to, take treatment for such a long time. And eventually, when he was 3-year-old, he started having lot of pain in abdomen. Now I'm defining this child's case, and my clinic is a small place, but then this child made it his entire arena. The mother was talking to me, but mother is used to him, right? Mother is a teacher. She's a PhD scholar. Father is a very well-behaved person. So to give you the background, the earlier child which we dealt with, he had, father was negligent, mother was not there for full time for the child. Now this child, mother is extra cautious. She is taking care of the baby like anything. Yeah. Father is very diligent. So to give you the background, mother was given Calcarea silicata, father was given silica. So you can understand the kind of conscientious patient parenting they had. They were very careful. But this child knew nothing. He was so hyperactive, and he would just go on jumping from one place to another. He would not sit. He would just not sit. The whole story was like this, that when he was 3-year-old, his sister was born. Yeah. Before that, parents had full attention on him. Now the sister is also there in the family. So mother is giving more time to the sister. That is the time when sister was born. Then he started developing this excessive hyperactive behavior. Even earlier, he had a lot of difficulty to concentrate, difficulty to sit. Again, another aspect was this child was also difficult to make eye contact. He did not make eye contact with me. He would not answer. Whenever I'm asking him questions, he's not giving me a very straight answer. Sometimes very shyly he's talking to his mom, or sometimes he's, giving answers in air but not talking directly to me. This child had lot of sleep talking. He had, his whenever he's playing, nobody is watching him. That is the time he would scream. Suddenly he would scream. So it so happened that I was defining his case, and it was 30 minutes into the case. I'm still understanding mother's state during pregnancy and all that. So 30 minutes he got used to my cabin, and suddenly I hear a loud screech, and I got startled. And the mother said, no, don't worry, doctor, this is normal, because he does that. So I said, what is this? I mean, what do you mean he does that? So mother said, he has a habit of screaming. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he will scream, shout. And I said, what is it? I mean, is it because of the pain? Because, I'm evaluating his subacute appendicitis, his acute pains which he gets. So he said, no. This is before that also. Right from the time he could make some noise, he would shout. That is very peculiar, extremely peculiar. So for me, I was trying to evaluate. I have taken the rubrics as mind busy, fruitlessly. He used to tease. Okay, another important aspect of this particular case was, since the time the sister was born, this patient would see if the mother is looking at them. If the mother is looking at them, then okay.
Dr. Hitar sir, mute your mic, please. Dr. Hitar sir. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Madam.
Yeah, thank you, Hitar bhai. Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Yes. No, I feel as if somebody is wanting to ask me something, so I stopped.
No, it's okay, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely okay. So this child, typically when the mother is looking, he will go and simply pinch the sister, or haath marodna nahi hota, like he will twist the arm suddenly of that baby sister, 3-month-old, 4-month-old baby, and only when mother is looking. So he is teasing the mom. He is not wanting to trouble the sister. Why? Because when the sister is with the nanny, that time he plays with the sister very carefully. Very nicely he'll be playing. There is absolutely no problem which he creates otherwise. But exclusively when mother is looking, when the sister is in mother's lap, he will go and simply pinch. So, teasing. He is teasing mother and creating some kind of look at me kind of behavior. Yeah. And then we took his shrieking, screaming, shouting, mind hyperactive. And again, the same rubric I took, hyperactivity, purpose without. I found this was very peculiar. Yeah. But nothing. Because you see the rubrics, I'm not able to fit this child in tuberculinum. I'm not able to fit this child in tarantula. Both are covering some rubrics. Both are covering, one is covering one set of rubric, another one is covering one, but this is not a totality, not complete. So then how do you handle such cases? How do you evaluate these cases? So what I do is, this is my standard procedure in all the cases. When such, erratic repertory chart comes, wherein you have put all the features of the patient, but you are not getting one remedy through and through. So my trick is, I pen down couple of words, 8 to 10 words, which are describing this patient in front of you in totality. So when I did that, what are the two aspects which are extremely important, exclusive to this case? The first was the name which I have given to this case, screaming and shouting case. The child used to scream and shout without any reason. So that had to be the primary rubric for me. Yeah. And then came another rubric, mind teasing. You see, teasing was so prominent for this child because he was doing it exclusively to gain attention from mother. So when I add only two rubrics, mind teasing and screaming within 3 words of children, and I can get a feel of spiders. How I will tell you further when I talk in details about spiders. So when I know, when I put a filter of animal remedies, the first remedy, and in fact the only remedy which is covering the combination of these two rubrics is Arenia ixobola. And that is where I was introduced to Arenia ixobola. This is a very old case. In 2015 or 16, I must have defined this case. So you see that case is coming very, very close to tarantula, but it is covered by Arenia ixobola. Arenia ixobola is, as I have explained earlier, is the garden spider or the cross spider. Yeah. And then everything fits into place because tarantula has a sense for rhythm. Tarantula has a sense for dance. Whereas this patient of mine absolutely did not bother about dancing. He did not care about dancing. The maximum dance which he did was up and down. He would jump with the music. He did like music, but he was not crazy about. And for tarantula children, music is quintessential. It is very, very essential that music has to be a part of their life. So I remember many, many years ago, I had treated one small child, and today I'm going to be only talking about children cases. So because the adult pictures of spiders are going to be different ones, but for children particularly, so I treated one of the patient whom I was giving tuberculinum, okay, but there was very mild results. So it was not a very prominent result, we could say, she was not getting much better. The cold and cough had reduced, but her major tendency to catch cold was not going. And I saw this girl at a school open house. She's a 4 or 5 year old girl. And when I had gone to the school for my children's open house, I saw this girl that typically the school tune was going on and this girl is dancing on that tune. Now it is a very mild one. It is not something which has to be dancing. So I met that girl's mom and I said, how are you? We just had a small talk and I said, how come she's dancing here? So she said, yeah, every music she has to dance. Absolutely, she cannot stop. Whatever is the music, the moment she hears music, she dances. Instantly, she will dance. No matter where we are, even if we are on the road, she will start dancing. And that prominent was dancing for her. And she did very, very good on Tarantula hispania. Couple of doses and all her complaints, the adenoids, everything cleared up. So that is the crux of Tarantula. That along with hyperactivity, along with teasing behavior, all the other rubrics, the fruitless, busy being without purpose, busy fruitlessly. This is a very prominent feature for all these spiders. They are going up and down here and there for no reason. If you look at spiders in your house also, then also you will find that they're fruitlessly busy. They're just doing anything. I mean, there is absolutely no reason why they should be going up and down, but they will be going. So along with that, when you club the sensitivity to music, that is Tarantula hispania. And devoid the sensitivity of music is Arenia ixobola. And the mischievousness which Arenia ixobola brings in is amazing. You cannot scold these children. So just to share, I'm sharing a audio clip of a child whom I am treating for alopecia. Okay. And now this child, just listen to her mother, what this child does as a prankster. Okay. She loves to play pranks and she's extremely mischievous. So I'm asking her how difficult, I'm asking the mother how difficult is it for you to scold this particular child? Okay.
Scold her aisa. But no, even if I'm scolding her, she's laughing. She doesn't care. If you're
doesn't
scolding me, it does not make any difference to me. And the elder one takes it to her heart. So that
Mischievous
is the
है लेकिन,
difference. बहुत.
हाँ? शरारतें करती है, एक दूसरे की खींचती है कुछ pranks and all.
बहुत.
She loves to do that.
She loves doing pranks. She loves doing pranks.
Tell
Like
me one or
any
two
sort of
pranks of hers.
Like for giving water to Pankaj, she'll add salt in it. Kabhi पानी में then ice cubes she'll like ice tray में बर्फ में मैंने water के साथ salt डाल के रख देगी. Now whenever you take it out, you're thinking it is ice and you come to know it's ice with salt.
So if you guys have been able to hear it, mother is telling that this child plays pranks on everybody. It is extremely difficult to scold her. So she does something wrong. Okay, she does many things wrong. In fact, she will be breaking. She will be creating a lot of trouble in the house. Okay, but the moment you start scolding this child, she will make such a nice cute face, or she will do something that it is difficult for you to hold that anger. That is the kind of mischievousness. You know, a couple of years back, there was this advertisement for a shirt brand. I'm forgetting the brand, but they had a tagline, good looking rascals. So good looking rascals are the ones who are, cute but mischievous. So you cannot get angry on them. So Arenia are these kind of mischievous children. Mothers will come to them with a lot of anger, and the moment they look at them, they will forget the anger. They will not be able to scold them with that effectiveness. And in this particular case, what the child does is, she will, so if father asks for water, she will give water, but she will add salt to his water. So the moment he drinks, he'll say, "Ye kya diya?" So like that, and then she'll be laughing. No matter how much you scold her, she'll be enjoying that prank. She will have fun, full fun. She will not hold back. She will laugh. Okay. Another thing what she does is, if mom is putting the ice tray in the freezer, she will, once the mom leaves kitchen, she will go and add salt. So if you want to take ice, mother will think you're taking ice, but it is actually lot of salt in that ice. So if she puts it in some drink or whatever, it becomes salty. And then this child will enjoy. She will have fun. This particular child, she had also told me another aspect, which is very, very crucial to all the spider remedies. She told me she has a code language. She writes her diary in a code language. Now, this is a 10-year-old girl. Okay. I said, what is this code? What is it for? So she says, no, I don't want my sister to understand what I'm writing. These are my secrets. So I am going to code. I have a different book wherein I have written my coding language, and then I take those codes and I write my secrets in this diary. So anybody opening it will not be able to do. I'm like a spy, she said. I write even family secrets like this. So, you see their whole thought process in such that they get into spying kind of activity. They would want to keep things secret, and they would want to keep things to themselves. They would want other people to fall into their trap. So like this mischievousness is like a trap, no? They're doing something on them, and then they're enjoying it. Yeah. So to summarize, how much time do I have left? Yeah, I have 10 minutes, right? All right. So I'll just summarize it in general. What are the features? So these spiders are very fast. There is lot of speed. So you see, if you have touched the spider ever, the moment you touch it, will quickly run. Yeah. So that is the kind of activity you will find it in uh, spider children. So how will you differentiate it from tuberculin? Tuberculin will be busy with some fruitful activity. For them, it will be fruitful. It will be like, you know, they are breaking a remote, TV remote. That is also going to be fruitful because they are exploring. They are finding out what is there inside. But the spiders are not interested in knowing what is inside. They just want to do something. So the speed, hyperactivity, busyness, constant movement, constant. They do not know how to sit in one place. They will be actively wandering from one place to another. Rhythmic movement, yeah, and they are short lifespan. So that for that itself brings in the short concentration capacity in children. Okay, yeah, mischievous. So we will take one by one. I will give you a couple of examples. So deceitfulness. In spiders, deceitfulness is going to be like, you know, they they are not cunning, they are skimming. So they will just be planning a few things, but they are not going to be you know, reptiles will be cunning. They will plan, they will execute their plan, and they will be vicious, they will be vindictive, badla lenge. But these are not, they are impulsive. Spiders are very impulsive. They will act in the moment. Right at that moment, whatever comes to them, they will be doing it. Okay. So that deceit is also momentary. It is not a planned execution wala deceit. These are, so if you say these are, they will lie, but they will lie in the moment. So spider children will lie for small gains. They are not going to be thinking ki, like what will be the next outcome, then whether I am able to achieve a bigger thing or no. They are not going to be thinking so much. So you understand the animal is also small, so the deceit is also going to be small, but there will be deceit. Okay. Then we've already spoken about the speed. Spiders are going to be very, very fast. There will always be a fascination with speed. And in disease, when in adults, when we look at spiders, then you will find that there will be sluggishness. There will be, because they have exhausted all their resources. So maybe if you are finding spider in depression. So we are talking about children today here. However, I will tell you a case which I recently treated at the start of the lockdown. That girl was extremely depressed, extremely depressed. She would not move out of the house. So exactly opposite of speed, exactly opposite of hyperactivity. This girl was just fixated at one place. On the bed, she would sit. She would ask mom to get everything, and then she would do everything in her own place. This girl, I had taken her rubric and, you know, desire to be in dark, desire. She was feeling trapped. She was feeling, you know, controlled. All those rubrics, I'm not able to get the rubrics, but she did excellent on Tarantula Hispania because she had lost. So if they show hyperactivity, if they show speed, even the opposite of that is also spider. Okay, but that will come in the later life, and it will come after a very traumatic incident. Okay, and pranksters. As I've told you, there was another case which I remember of playing pranks. So this particular girl, I have a lot of girls who are spiders. So this particular girl, what she would do is, when father is going to the office, mom would pack father's tiffin, and there were similar tiffins. So yesterday's tiffin is empty one. What this girl will do is, she will give empty one to father. Yesterday's tiffin. And today's tiffin, she'll put it inside for washing or whatever. And then when father would reach office, he would open, he would see, oh, this is the stale one. I've not got tiffin today. And this girl would enjoy that prank. She was just 6-year-old. She also did very good on Arenia exubula. The mischievousness, playing pranks. You will find the same kind of pranks in adults. So their pranks will increase. So they will play pranks with regards to money. They will play, they will ask people, they will tell people they are in trouble, or they'll create any different kind of scenarios. Okay. Another thing is hyperactivity. As I've already spoken about, fruitless. Without any work, they will be just jumping from one place to another. The same hyperactivity you will find in adults also. Adults may, you will see that there is concentration difficulty. So there is one patient with me whom I'm treating for myalgia, fibromyalgia. So this lady, she will come to the clinic. She'll say, my number is this much. And immediately she'll say, why am I not going inside? Okay, fine. I'll go out and I'll do my work and I'll come back. She'll come back inside. And then again, her number will be gone. She would just not want to sit. She'll say, I'll do another work and come back. But as such, if you ask her whether that work is so essential that she had to go at this moment, no. It is just that she cannot sit in one place. So she would go out and come back. Yeah. Rhythmic movements. It is very, very essential. Now, rhythmic movements in spiders come from the fact that the male spider, to invite the female, they will be doing a lot of dance. So you search on YouTube, there you will find amazing dance videos. The spiders will completely raise their abdomen, the male spiders, colorful abdomens. Okay. There is so many colors in these tiny creatures that they will raise that abdomen and they will rhythmically move that abdomen, and they will raise their two hands and they'll keep clapping. Yeah. So this rhythm, without any music, the rhythm which they have in their body, it is exclusively to attract the female. Yeah. And interesting part is, when they are attracting, they know that they can be food also for the female. If the female has already mated, she might as well eat this small creature, because in spiders, typically the males are smaller, females are bigger, and they are cannibalistic. Yeah. So even then, they cannot do without dancing. So when you go to parties, when you go for get-togethers, do look out for people who cannot. The moment music is on, they are the ones who are immediately on their feet. So just see for yourself whether you can spot any spiders there. Yeah. And suddenness. So suddenness, where all can you see? Is for spiders, suddenness is extremely essential for their survival, because they can be eaten up. So the dance which I spoke about, for male spiders typically, it is very essential for them that it is that fraction of moment wherein the female decides whether to mate with this male or to eat him up. Yeah. In that moment, only the male spider has to understand whether he has to run away or he has to stay there. Yeah. So that suddenness, abruptness, suddenly both of them will decide on either one, the male will survive or it will be eaten up. Yeah. So the same suddenness you will find in the children also. Same suddenness you will find in adults. Suddenly they'll be active one day, suddenly they'll be quiet. The complaints, the clinical complaints will also come suddenly, and suddenly it will vanish. Suddenness is extremely essential. The pace of the disease and suddenness, this combination will be biggest criteria for spiders. And mischievousness, I've already spoken a lot about mischievousness. Spiders will be always mischievous. And pace, yeah, pace will be fast pace. So if you ask them hobbies, if you ask them their interests, they will always talk about what kind of Formula One races they will like. They will like the adventure activities wherein there is a lot of adrenaline rush. Yeah, they will also like, so there is this spider, Miguel. You will find that they will like bungee jumping. you are hung from your feet down, upside down, right? So they will like activities like that. So that's about it, folks. To summarize spiders, this is in nutshell. And ma'am, can we take any questions? Is there any possibility, or it is live on
Yes,
YouTube
they
only?
can, yeah, ma'am, they can type if they want. There is a chat.
Yes.
If
Oh,
there are
they can type. Okay, okay.
any questions from the audience, you can please type your questions. If any questions from the audience.
So there are many cases, but then I thought because the topic is new, I should cover
Yes, ma'am.
into details.
No. But it was very comprehensive, madam, and it was very simple and comprehensive and quite interesting also. Many
Yeah, so
things about many things about the spiders which we did not know, we came to know because of you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It is such a big topic. When I do my workshops, I take it like a full day topic for spiders.
Yes.
But
ma'am.
I've tried to keep everything in together so that in such a way that students, when they see a case, they should at least come to spider. We will come to which spider eventually. That is a different story altogether. But they should not go to reptiles, or they should not go to any other remedy. They should come to a group of spiders.
Yes, ma'am. True, ma'am. So thank you very much, ma'am. It was very interesting, and many unknown facts about the spiders we have come to know. And now I would call upon Dr. Panda sir, who is the principal of Parul Institute of Homeopathy and Research and a very senior principal with Parul University. So I'll welcome Panda sir to give the concluding remarks of today's webinar, as well as to give to wind up the webinar. So please, Panda sir.
Thank you, Hina madam. Am I audible, madam?
Yes,
Yes,
you are audible, sir. Yes.
Okay. So really, it is my pleasure, and I feel proud listening such type of live session by Dusali madam. Really, madam, I appreciate. I am thankful to our dean sir to giving me chance to analyze the webinar. Hina madam, my dear colleague Dr. Mehta sir. Madam started with the movie Spider-Man. So it attracts the audience, and the audience becomes anxious what type of movie and how she is correlating the spider activity with the signs and symptoms. So this is a attitude of a good teacher, what I feel. And second thing, I want to share that she has produced a good significant example of doctrine of signature, the relationship of the spider activities and the action of the medicine. So what I'm thinking, the students and all my faculty members, those who are listening, they can learn that whenever you are teaching, it will correlate the action of the medicine and the sources, then it will be better to understand or rememorize. Third thing, what I observed, it is her body language is very good. So whenever she is expressing the symptoms, I can't able to see throughout the body, but the above part is always in active position. The hands, the eye, the mouth, whatever it may be, it was in active position. So there is no need, as we are listening in news, for the deaf and dumb. Likewise, it was very interesting. Really, I appreciate. So how to choose the synonymum out of similars? So she expressed, she described about tarantula, about aramia. So how to differentiate, because there are some similarity because of the species. So all the medicines which are prepared from the source, that is spider, there must be some general symptoms which are found in each and every spider. But how to differentiate, that is the caliber of the physician. So she has given good examples with from her practice life, that how can you differentiate between different spiders, though there are similarity like hyperactivity, suddenness, sudden attack, whatever it may be, but in spite of that, the patient will tell something to us which can differentiate between the spiders, and we can select the simulum. In spite of that, he used the repertory to find out the simulum. That is the scientific aspect of our science. So if you are sure, till then you take the symptom, you convert the symptom into rubric, and you find out the simulum, and you correlate with the mathematica. If you found that it is correct, then you administer, definitely you get success. So I appreciate, madam. Really, the webinar was very successful, and what I am thinking, all my colleagues and all my students and those who are the participants, they will be satisfied with this. And some questions they may ask, but your expression, your mode of explaining with example was so nice, as Ina madam told. So there is no doubt. Something we learn from you, how to give examples from your case, and how to correlate the signs and symptoms with the source. You have explained a good way, in a good manner. We expect the same cooperation in future. Again, I am very happy that my colleague Dr. Mehta contacted with you, and because of him, we could able to know about each other, knew about your caliber, about your expression, and what I am thinking, due to my experience, your teaching caliber, teaching capacity is unique. So the correlation between body language and your mode of talking is very relevant, and it should be learned by each and every of my colleague of Mathematica. So I don't want to lose the time at over. So I am very much thankful to my management for giving chance to share with you our views, and I am again thankful the board of the chairman of our board of study and principal of Ahmedabad Homeopathy Medical College, my senior colleague Dr. Hina madam, Dr. Hitat Mehta sir, and Dean sir. Thank you, madam. We hope the same cooperation in future. Okay, over to Hina madam.
Thank you so much, sir. It was so eloquent. I just forgot to share the follow-ups of these two children, the cases which we shared elaborately. So the autistic child which I shared, he is 5 years old now, and just couple of days back, his mother had messaged me that he participated in a debate competition and he won the first prize.
That is
Very good.
great.
Excellent.
That is great, ma'am.
Excellent.
Very
That-
beautifully he has recovered, and the subacute appendicitis 3 months only we treated, and he complete all the notes, mesenteric notes and everything has gone.
Good, ma'am. Very nice, very nice. That is excellent. And this will bring faith in homeopathy to the budding homeopaths. So I'm very thankful to Panda sir, who very critically and with a keen observation, he has just seen the whole webinar, and he has explained simply the entire gist of the webinar. Now I would welcome Dr. Hitat Mehta sir, who is the principal of Rajkot Homeopathic Medical College, our young and enthusiastic principal. So he'll give the vote of thanks. Please, Dr. Hitat Mehta sir.
Thank you, Ina madam.
Dr. Mehta, will you allow me to speak before you speak?
Okay, definitely, madam.
So I have met Dr. Mehta during this lockdown only on webinars, and I want to tell this to all his students that in whichever webinar I have seen the amazing student in Dr. Mehta. At this age, I hope you don't mind saying this, sir.
Thank you,
But
madam.
the way he attends all the webinars, it is so inspiring that he will have notes, he will be constantly taking care. He'll share it on Facebook. He'll make sure that other students reach out. So thank you so much for inspiring me also, Dr. Mehta.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Ina madam. Good afternoon to one and all present at this webinar. On behalf of Faculty of Homeopathy, Parul University, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar. At the outset, I thank our highly learned and eminent speaker and resource person and international speakers of today's webinar, Dr. Bhusali madam, for sparing her valuable time with us
And madam, we are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. Thank you, madam. We are thankful to Honorable President of Parul University, Dr. Devanshu Patel, sir, and respected Dr. Komal Patel, madam, Director of Ayush Colleges of Parul University, for motivating and inspiring us to design new method of teaching and learning for students and faculty members amidst the COVID-19 crisis. A special thanks to the organizing committee, Dr. Purav Desai, sir, Dean, Faculty of Homeopathy, Parul University, Dr. Ina Rawal, madam, Principal of Ahmedabad Homeopathic Medical College, Dr. B.P. Panda, sir, Principal of PIHR, Parul Institute of Homeopathy and Research, for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to all the delegates for their active participation. With these warm words and kind message, we move to the end of today's webinar. Keep listening, stay connected, be here, be vibrant. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We can leave the meeting now, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Shall I leave? I'll leave.